Hey y'all, Pete here with Green Dreams, and I'm in the nursery on Sand Hill Farm, and I have some exciting stuff to show you. So this is one of my favorite trees on the farm, and this tree is called the Jaboticaba, and it produces fruit right off of the trunk of the tree. This is actually called coliferous production, and it makes delicious grapes. So this tree is also known as a Brazilian tree grape. My neighbor has a couple of these exposed in their front yard that have been there for over 10 years. So in 08 down here in Florida, we had a really cold year and those trees made it no problem. We have these trees in the understory. They're supposed to be very slow growing trees, and they've actually grown surprisingly well in a dappled light situation, and definitely have taken down to at least 26 degrees without any tip burn. So they're very tough looking, tough trees. They're fairly cold hardy. And I think my favorite part about them is the aesthetic value of this tree. Everybody plants crepe myrtles in their front yard. That tree only looks good 1 month a year. There's definitely a very bad pruning habit, where they call crepe murder, the way they cut them back. They don't ever really let them get big and gnarly. So these have a really neat, gnarly looking tree, very dooryard type tree. They can fruit multiple times per year. This variety is called the Sabra. So I would say 5 to 7 years from seed, this tree could fruit. We have red Jaboticaba varieties, we have yellow Jaboticaba varieties, there's even grafted Jaboticaba varieties. Basically, my mentor on Jaboticabas, his name is Adam Strafford. He's out of Central Florida with Flying Fox Farm, and he probably has 50 varieties of Jaboticaba. So we're not even scratching the surface here on the amount of Jaboticaba varieties there is. And I'll step over here for a second and show you all a small Sabra. And we have a red variety over here too, and they're a little bit smaller, but the nice thing about the red varieties is they can fruit a lot quicker. So the reds, they say, can fruit in 3 to 5 years. The Sabras would fruit more like a 5 to 7. Very small tree, as you can see, but this little guy could potentially fruit in 3 years. Here's a 7-gallon that could maybe be 5 years old, possibly fruit in the next year or so. Another thing that Adam taught me about these Jaboticabas are they really like to be opened up. So I do a lot of pruning on the center of this tree, and not typically like you would on an oak tree, leave that collar when you prune. Adam has taught us that the Jaboticabas really like to be cut tight up against the trunk, or they tend to rot back. So if y'all are gonna prune your Jaboticabas out there, that's a little pro tip that I got from Adam. I just want to share with you. But Jaboticaba, Brazilian tree grape, epic. And in one of our future videos, when these are flushing well on the farm, I'll probably share some of the fruit and send it out to all of our listeners and followers. So thank you. Please like, comment, and share. So basically, this is a very delicious grape, and I think we want it to press in a little bit more when we actually take it off the tree. But it's going to have a seed in the center, and you can actually start this plant from the seed. It's actually not too bad. It's very good. I don't typically eat the skin on this, but I will eat everything out and around it. You can eat the skin. It is edible. And then you plant this little seed, and this is what you get 10 years later, a beautiful tree. So Jaboticaba, dooryard tree. Everybody should plant them.